Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Sukanya Suki Krishnan, host of Sister Wives Tell All, joined the Sarah Fraser show to provide additional information about the Brown family. A few of them deal with her close bond with them and Kody Brown's relationship with the children. She also addressed the reasons behind the Brown family's refusal to participate in group interviews, which provides a wealth of information. To see her statements, continue reading. Sister Wives. Kody Brown remembers interviews in groups. Kody was seen getting ready to drive to Sedona with Robyn to take part in the one-on-one interviews in the first segment of the tell-all. However, prior to departing, the Sister Wives star reminisced about their collective tell-alls filming days. Kody said they had a great time and that they only supported and defended one another during the group interviews. But now that they're attempting to expose one another's wrongdoings, everything has changed. Robyn expressed sadness at this as well, stating that she wasn't looking forward to the tell-all. She also stated that rather than taking part in the interviews, she would prefer to get a root canal. Suki explains the family's reluctance to participate in group interviews. Suki was questioned about why the Brown family no longer does group interviews during her appearance on the Sarah Fraser podcast. Suki claims that it's obvious that they no longer get along and that inviting them in for a group interview will simply exacerbate the situation. Kody, Robyn, Janelle, and Meri all preferred one-on-one interviews, although Suki even suggested group interviews to them. Although they're not quite ready yet, Suki thinks Christine is ready, especially now that she's fully over Kody. In any case, Sister Wives Season 19's tell-all will reveal the reasons behind their current situation, according to Suki. Kody Brown wouldn't remarry, but Janelle Brown would. Lashing out at the autonomy she received through multiple marriages, when it's functioning correctly, you have this amazing family unit that you're part of, a community that you're plugged into. You have a husband and you have a great relationship with him, and you have everything, right? And then I have all my independence. So to me, plural marriage really was a really great arrangement. But Kody would never again say, I do to polygamy. Polygamy kills emotional intimacy, he said in the episode that aired on December 1st. It makes everybody defensive, and I really want an emotionally vulnerable, intimate relationship with a woman, and you're not going to get that in polygamy. Years ago, Kody Brown began to distance himself from Janelle Brown. According to Janelle, once the family moved to Arizona from Las Vegas in 2018, Kody found it more difficult to split his affections. She said on the September 29th show, Kody found it a lot easier to be away when he moved to Flagstaff. She revealed that he would try to grovel because he was exhausted, saying, I'm really tired. I'm like, well, you can rest at my house just as much as you can rest at Robyn's house. A couple of times I had to remind him that he needed to come to my house. Sister Wives. Suki provides information regarding Kody Brown's connection with the children. During the same podcast, Suki also discussed Kody Brown's relationship with some of his older children. For alienating his older children from his ex-wives, Kody has been the target of criticism. Michael T. even acknowledged that, particularly since Garrison's passing, he and his elder children had not been on the same page. However, according to Suki, things are actually reversed today. The Sister Wives star is currently focusing on his relationships with his children, according to Suki, who also stated that he is trying his hardest to find a position where he can view his daughters as ladies and his boys as men in order to mend fences with them. Suki went on to say that while some of the children no longer accept Kody, others still do. The children of Janelle Brown and Christine Brown Woolley didn't enjoy visiting Robyn Brown's house. The problem for Christine's children, however, was that they saw that Robyn and their dad were a couple and he wasn't in our home. Janelle described this separateness her brood felt with Robyn, saying, my children were scolded if they would open up Robyn's fridge. Robyn added that her crew was aware of the division. On the September 29th episode, she revealed, Meri was very accepting of my kids and I overall, but the rest of the family really struggled to accept my kids and I. All we wanted to do was be a part of this family. However, Gabriel would contend that he and his siblings made a concerted effort to include them. He stated, I think that Robyn definitely has a victim complex. during the episode that aired on October 13th. I mean, to put it bluntly. And I don't necessarily blame her for that. I think that different people do, devise different strategies to keep themselves afloat. But he continued, if she actually believes that we were mistreating her or her children in any way when she was constantly getting favorited by Dad, and we were always working on our relationship with her kids, if she actually believes that, then there's no chance of me having a relationship with Robin ever again. Janelle Brown questioned the parenting styles of Robin and Kody Brown. In the September 29th episode, Kody talked about how his and Robin's youngest child, Ariella, who was born in January 2016, clung to his leg as he tried to depart, demonstrating how having their dad move between 4 different houses did have an impact on his 18 children. I had to explain to her, there's another wife that needs me, another mommy. I got other kids that need to see me, Kody said. And she's just dragging along on my legs screaming, don't leave me, Daddy, don't leave me. And I'm like, golly man, this is hard. Janelle insisted, unfortunately, that's just a reality of plural marriage. From the very beginning, she said, the kids knew that their dad was not going to always be there. I always felt like that Kody and Robin mismanaged the situation with her children. He couldn't be away for more than 3 or 4 days because Ari just gets so sad, or whatever. I'm like, I feel like that was poor parenting. Through all history of the family, the other kids did it, and they're fine. They're well-adjusted adults. Robin Brown and Michael T. Padrone had a close relationship. During Kody's divorces, Michael T., a mother of 3 and one of the few Brown children still close to Robin and Kody, as well as Christine and Janelle, played the role of peacekeeper. Robin was close to Michael T. from the time she joined the Brown family, and she was even invited to attend the birth of her twins, Archer and Ace, in November 2022. I was trying to figure out who I was when Robin first joined the family, and she made me feel special, and she made me feel seen, Michael T. said in the episode that aired on September 29th. Robin was there for me when I needed somebody. She was there for me when I needed somebody to hear me, to love me. Additionally, her mother Christine was ecstatic. Christine said in the October 6th episode, it was everything that I hoped for when Robin entered the family, and it was clear that she and Michael T. had a great relationship. When I was so excited about having a plural family, I was hoping that my kids would have a great relationship with other moms. Kody Brown allegedly brainwashed one of his children. Kody believes that he was taken out of their life by more than just his wives. He gave his perspective on his distance from some of his older children in the October 6th episodes, explaining, they're purposely leaving me out of their lives to punish me for a crime I did not commit. I am only guilty of not falling madly in love with their mothers. Furthermore, he added, he believes his ex-spouses share some of the responsibility. This disparity in relationship with my children is specifically in my mind because of Detox, he stated. There's this whirlwind of disappointment from the family breaking up or whatever, and it's like, well, blame Dad. Dad screwed up. Although he bears some of the responsibility, he finds the name-calling offensive. Kody disclosed that one of his children replied to a text message saying, "You are a piece of trash. I would never speak to you again anyway." He notably mentioned that he was having trouble connecting with Hunter, Maddie, and Gabriel. "I've had one of my kids just say, 'You're an a-hole. I'm never talking to you again. You manipulated me and you brainwashed me,'" he said to cameras in a different incident. And he's unwilling to deal with that venom. He stated, "I'm not going to reach out forever," adding that he believes his grown children ought to be doing more to make things right. "I'm willing to make the effort, but somebody else is going to have to be on the other end of that and make some effort too." As a parent, Robin Brown found it difficult to respect Kody Brown. Robin found it extremely painful to witness Kody's alienation from his grown children. During the October 6th program, she said, "My parents got divorced when I was little. He lived with one wife in another city, and then my mom lived alone. I remember confronting my biological father saying, 'What happened? Why?' All he really did was just make a bunch of lame excuses as to why he wasn't there for me when I was young, and it just sucked." No, she wasn't going to let Kody's wounded sentiments prevent him from trying. During their heated on-camera confrontation in late 2022, she admitted, "I'm having a hard time not, feeling like losing respect for you a little bit. Cody also admitted that he might be doing more to improve his relationship with his children, but he insisted that he must first heal his heart. Claiming that certain of his children are colluding against me, he said, "I'm so angry about what has happened that if I talk to my kids, I'm worried that they'll trigger me with an accusation. I'm too hot-headed right now. All I'll do is more damage." Cody Brown didn't see his grandchildren for years. When Janelle and Cody's oldest son Logan married his now-wife Michelle Petty in October 2022, a large portion of the family was present, but they weren't quite feeling the love. In the October 6th episode, Cody vented to Robin, "You saw Madison take her kids and scuttle them away from me," pointing out that his daughter had not informed him that she was pregnant, her third child, Josephine, who was born in February 2023. "She never told me she was pregnant. Since they don't talk much, Maddie doesn't really tell her dad anything." Really, Maddie doesn't have any contact with him. Janelle clarified when asked why her daughter avoided Cody during the wedding. She is very protective of her children. Cody has not been there since Evie was born, and Evie's 3.5. And she didn't want him to just drop in and be like, "Oh, I'm your grandpa," and then be like, "What? Who is this guy? What does Cody think?" In reference to Maddie's life in North Carolina, he stated, "It's unrealistic expectation for grandparents to be in their grandchildren's lives all the time, especially if you move your children to an entirely different coast. In Flagstaff, I have a job and a life." Cody Brown requested an apology from his children to Robin Brown. One recurring issue is Cody's insistence on some kind of mea culpa, even though it's evident that he and his adult children have quite different perspectives on their continued separation. After the COVID scare was over and we all went back to our normal lives, we still couldn't reconcile as a family because Cody felt like the boys needed to give an apology to him and to Robin, especially to Robin. Janelle talked about her sons in the October 13th clip. "And after it sort of morphed into this, well, they just need to come and talk to me. And the most precious person in this family who's given her heart and soul has been disrespected or some bull's tea like that," Janelle added, and I'm like, whatever, Cody. Cody's problem, she added, was that he believed his children had not been faithful to him. Yes, anything. The same was true for Gabriel, who told Janelle about a conversation he had with his father. "He kept phrasing it like I owed him an apology," he said, and finally I was just like, "Hey, unless you're actually ready to have a relationship and fix things, then we're not going to talk anymore." He returned a few days later and texted me. He says, "Hey, I've been looking at what you've been saying." I said, "I forgive you. Please forgive me." I said, "What have you forgiven me for?" Only one of Janelle Brown's children is seen by Cody Brown. It's not frequently, but every couple months he'll call and they'll go out. Janelle explained in the October 13th episode, referring to Cody's relationship with his youngest of the 6 children he shares with Janelle. The rest of the kids don't really have much of any kind of connection with him. Savannah, who graduated from high school in 2023, feels that her 4 older brothers have assumed the position of a father figure. The girl has even admitted to Janelle that she hopes to have her siblings marry her. "He's going to be kind of that dad who shows up and we have a lot of fun, and then he's gone," Janelle explained. "I've talked to Savannah about it and she's like, look, I just have come to realize that this is who he is. Wherever he is, I can meet him. It's all right." But Janelle is less understanding. "Look, I've seen this happen," she bemoaned, "and I'm just so frustrated with Cody. Over the years, I've dealt with a number of ladies who were divorced, and the father simply disappears with the children." Gabriel Brown stated that he wouldn't mind seeing his father, Cody Brown, ever again. Gabriel took it very hard because Cody was someone who would take Gabriel with him on business trips, Janelle said early in their father-son conflict. Cody was a totally engaged father until the last few years. "I told Dad that if he doesn't change and he can't take accountability, then I just won't ever see him again," Gabriel stated in the October 13th episode, despite his feelings of confusion over what he did to enrage his father. "And that's totally fine with me. He's at peace that his dad is not in his life," Janelle said. "That's what I wish for all of my children, you know. And I believe they're all arriving." Cody, for his part, seemed to be accepting of the circumstances. In a confessional, he said, "I've tried to reach out to Gabriel several times, but have been turned down. I'm really sorry that he feels that way. However, it wasn't because I didn't try." Fearing that Mary Brown would trash-talk him, Kody Brown. Despite being the final wife to divorce Kody, Mary formally ended their relationship in late 2022 by asking for and getting what their church refers to as a release on the basis of abandonment. On the October 13th episode, she said, "I know he doesn't like that word because he doesn't feel like he abandoned me. I believe that he did." She believes that he essentially disregarded her until she decided to go so that he could say, "My hands are clean." Furthermore, Kody acknowledged that he had a small plan. "I had moved on a long time ago," he said in a confessional. "But let's be honest, I was scared of what she would do if I pulled off that band-aid. It's because Mary has never been faithful to me. I've been concerned about that. It's merely a matter of reputation, as being divorced ruins your reputation." Mary claimed that instead, it was hers that was being damaged. "It's really just sad that Kody's talking about our marriage the way that he's talking about it," she stated. "It feels like the narrative has changed with him, but the things that he's saying about me to other people and the people are believing are not true." Years ago, Christine Brown-Woolley discovered that Kody Brown wasn't a suitable match. Thanks to an exercise suggested by their marital and family therapist in Las Vegas, Christina discovered years before she and Kody parted ways that they weren't a good fit on paper. During the October 20th episode, Christine disclosed that Kody wasn't any of the qualities on the list. "I told him the list, and he's like, 'I'm not any of those things for you.' I said, 'No, you're not.'" Christine wrote down that she was looking for a good communicator, someone who would be present in her and her children's lives, and someone who was attracted to her. She rapidly realized that her now-husband David Woolley was her soulmate, in part because of the missive. She raved about the widower father of 8, saying, "He has owned his own drywall business, and his family is his most important thing. He is known for being straightforward and honest with others, and he is an excellent communicator." The Brown family from Sister Wives has rarely acted in a sophisticated manner. But when it comes to their response to the passing of Garrison Brown, the son of Kody and Janelle Brown, that appears to be the case at last. The entire family suffered a terrible loss, and for once, they appeared to be in agreement about how they handled, or failed to handle, it on the show. Unfortunately, Garrison committed suicide on March 5, 2024. His demise sent shockwaves through the entire family. However, the Brown family chose not to go into great detail about Garrison's passing on the show, rather than splattering it everywhere and sensationalizing such a traumatic event in their lives. Instead, they decided on an appropriate remembrance. This also persisted during the tell-all. The death of Garrison was unacceptable. On the day of the interviews, hosts Sukanya, Suki, Krishan, and her staff learned they would be discussing Garrison. On the podcast of The Sarah Fraser Show, Suki discussed it briefly. Sarah discussed her experiences interviewing the Brown family with Suki on the show. She discussed the special family dynamic, how she established a secure environment, and the reasons she chose not to discuss Garrison's death. "How did you discover that the tell-all would not cover Garrison?" That day, Suki revealed, "We learned that they didn't want to go there. That's why I offer my condolences at the beginning of the show. I applaud TLC for doing a beautiful job honoring him in the way they could," she continued. "It is challenging, but it also serves as a network for the exchange of knowledge while maintaining a line of respect and understanding. I have no idea what people desire that is surrounded by enough tragedy, grief, and despair." Undoubtedly, Sister Wives has experienced its share of highs and lows. However, it appears that they wish to keep Garrison from dying while performing in the circus. They try their best to honor his life and not only discuss his death, but also to enjoy it. Unfortunately, Garrison committed suicide on March 5, 2024. His demise sent shockwaves through the entire family. However, the Brown family chose not to go into great detail about Garrison's passing on the show, rather than splattering it everywhere and sensationalizing such a traumatic event in their lives. Instead, they decided on an appropriate remembrance. This also persisted during the tell-all. The death of Garrison was unacceptable. On the day of the interviews, hosts Sukanya, Suki, Krishan, and her staff learned they would be discussing Garrison. On the podcast of The Sarah Fraser Show, Suki discussed it briefly. Sarah discussed her experiences interviewing the Brown family with Suki on the show. She discussed the special family dynamic, how she established a secure environment, and the reasons she chose not to discuss Garrison's death. How did you discover that the tell-all would not cover Garrison? That day, Suki revealed, we learned that they didn't want to go there. That's why I offer my condolences at the beginning of the show.